When I was young, I believed poverty was only about money, that people stayed poor because life was unfair or luck did not choose them. And it took me many years, many mistakes, and many quiet observations to understand a deeper truth. Most people stay poor their whole life, not because they are lazy or bad, but because they are trapped in patterns they do not even realize they are repeating. And before you leave this story, listen carefully, because this is not about judging anyone. This is about understanding a silent cycle that destroys dreams slowly. I grew up watching hard-working people who woke up early, worked until their bodies hurt, and still struggled every month. And as a young man, I asked myself a painful question. How can someone work so hard and still remain stuck? And the answer did not come quickly. It came through years of watching lives unfold, choices being made, and time quietly passing. I remember a man in my neighborhood. His hands were always rough. His clothes always smelled of work, and everyone respected him for his effort. But year after year, nothing changed for him. Same house, same stress, same fear of bills. And I noticed something important. His work never ended, but his thinking never changed. No one told him that working hard without learning is like running in circles. You move a lot, but you never go anywhere. Most people stay poor because they are trained to survive, not to build. They learn how to pay today's bills, but never how to design tomorrow's life. I was once like that too, chasing money just to feel safe, spending as soon as it came because it felt like relief, and no one taught me that relief is not progress. It is only a pause. Another reason people stay poor is because they fear looking foolish, learning new skills, asking questions, starting something small. All of these require humility, and pride is expensive. Pride whispers that you already know enough, that change is risky, that staying the same is safer. But that staying the same is often the most dangerous choice. I have seen people reject opportunities not because they were bad, but because they were unfamiliar. They preferred a painful certainty over an uncertain possibility, and life quietly rewarded that choice with stagnation. Another reason is habits, small daily habits that feel harmless. Spending without tracking, eating time with meaningless entertainment, avoiding books because they seem boring, avoiding responsibility because it feels heavy. These habits do not destroy you in one day. They slowly shape your future while you are not looking. I once met a young man full of energy and dreams. He talked about becoming successful, free, respected, but every night he drowned his time in distractions, and every morning he complained about his situation. And years later I saw him again, older, tired, and angry at the world, and I realized something painful. Dreams without discipline turn into resentment. Another reason most people stay poor is because they blame the world instead of studying it. They blame the government, the economy, their parents, their past, and while some of those things are real and unfair, blaming does not build anything. It only protects the ego. Responsibility is heavy, but it is also powerful. The moment you accept responsibility for your life, even for things that were not your fault, you regain control. But many people avoid that moment because it feels uncomfortable. I also learned that people stay poor because they chase fast money instead of lasting value. They want shortcuts, luck, sudden success. And when it does not come, they feel cheated. But wealth is usually built quietly, slowly, through patience, learning, and consistency. Things that do not look exciting on social media. I have watched people destroy years of effort chasing one quick win. And I have watched quiet, disciplined people build stable lives without anyone clapping for them. Another deep reason people stay poor is fear of change. Change threatens identity. If you grow, some people around you will feel uncomfortable. Some relationships will fade, and many choose to stay small so they can stay accepted. They choose belonging over growth, not knowing that the cost of that choice is their potential. I have seen people stay in the same job for decades not because they loved it, but because leaving meant admitting they wanted more. And wanting more felt selfish to them. But wanting more is not greed, it is growth. Another silent reason is lack of financial understanding. Money is emotional, not logical. People earn money, but never learn how to manage it. So no matter how much comes in, it disappears. They live by feelings, not plans, spending when happy, spending when sad, and wondering why nothing remains. No one taught them that money needs direction. Without direction, it escapes. I also learned that people stay poor because they underestimate time. They believe they can start later, save later, learn later. But later is not guaranteed. Time is the most valuable asset, but it is the most wasted one. I wasted years myself thinking I would figure things out eventually, and one day I realized eventually had already passed. Another painful truth is that people stay poor because they avoid discomfort. Learning new skills feels hard. Starting something feels scary. Saving feels restrictive. But discomfort is the price of growth. Avoiding discomfort feels good today, but costs you tomorrow. I once avoided learning something new because it made me feel stupid, and that single decision delayed my growth by years. Most people also stay poor because they listen to the wrong voices. Advice from people who are also stuck, opinions from people who never tried, fear passed down like tradition. And if you surround yourself with people who see limits everywhere, you will start seeing them too. Environment shapes vision. I noticed that people who escaped poverty changed not just their income, but their mindset, their habits, their conversations, and their standards. Another reason is that many people confuse being busy with being productive. They exhaust themselves but never build systems. They trade time for money forever. And when time runs out, so does income. No one told them that true freedom comes from creating value that works even when you rest. Another painful reason people stay poor is emotional wounds. Low self-worth, belief that they do not deserve better. Fear of success, because failure feels familiar. These wounds quietly sabotage opportunities. I have seen people self-destruct when life started improving because chaos felt normal to them, and stability felt foreign. And then there is the biggest reason of all. Most people stay poor because they never believe deeply that they can become more. Belief shapes action, and action shapes results. If you believe you are limited, you will act limited, and life will confirm that belief. I am not saying this to blame anyone. I am saying this because understanding gives power, and here's the part that matters most. Escaping poverty does not start with money. It starts with awareness, with honest self-reflection, with small changes done consistently. It starts when you decide to learn instead of complain, to plan instead of react, to delay pleasure for future peace, to invest in skills, health, and character. It starts when you accept that your life will not change unless you change, and that truth is uncomfortable but freeing. I have seen people transform their lives not overnight, but over years, quietly, steadily, without applause, and I have seen others stay stuck waiting for rescue that never comes. So if you are listening to me right now, understand this. Your future is being built by your daily choices, not your wishes, and poverty is not just empty pockets. It is empty vision, empty discipline, empty belief. Fill those first and money will follow. And if this story opened your eyes, if it made you think differently, then stay with me, because on this channel I share the truths life teaches too late. Subscribe to this channel and walk with me as we learn how to build a life of wisdom, dignity, and quiet strength together.